Hi students, we are discussing about the organic reactions. This is our second class of the organic reactions. The module is 3 and lecture number is 22. Yeah, so this is the our subject name is chemistry. The subject credit is 3 and contact hours 35. So this is the course objective of our subject, that is the concept developed in this course will aid in the quantification of several concepts in chemistry that you have introduced at the 10+2 level in your school. Okay, so next these are the some of the course outcome that we have, that is you can describe the fundamental properties of atoms or molecules. You can apply the fundamental concepts of thermodynamics in different engineering applications. You can apply the knowledge of water quality parameters, corrosion control and polymers. Also you can able to determine the structure of organic molecules using different spectroscopic technique, and also you can synthesize, you can know the synthesize how to synthesize some of the drug molecules in the industrial scale. This is the lecture plan for the organic reaction. Okay, so these are the some of the objectives of our today's class. First one, we know we discuss about the some of the organic reactions, whatever organic reactions that we have, what are the types of organic reactions, and among this we will discuss about the substitution reaction, that is SN1 and SN2. Okay, all we will discuss in detail. Okay, so these are the some of the recapitulation of our previous class. In our previous class we have discussed about the inductive effect, the electromagnetic effect, the resonance effect and the hyperconjugation effect. Okay, so what is the inductive effect? Actually, while the two atoms are bonded with each other and what atom is higher electronegative than the other atom, what will happen? The tendency of that atom to pull the electrons towards itself, and this phenomenon is called by the inductive effect. Okay, so there are so many there are two types of inductive effect that we have. One is minus I effect, one is plus I effect. Minus I effect, that means the electronegative atom, the tendency of that electronegative atom to pull the electron towards itself, and the plus I effect, that means some of the groups we have which push the electron, bonded electron towards other atom. So this effect is called the plus I effect. Okay. Okay, next these are the some of the relative inductive effect, that which one has a higher electronegative atom, higher inductive effect with reference to the hydrogen. This is the order. Okay, so these are the some of the application of the inductive effect, that we can explain the stability of the carbocation, we can explain the acidity, the order of the acidity, that we can explain with the help of the electroinductive effect. Now this is the electromagnetic effect. Actually electromagnetic effect, that means intermolecular movement of the electrons from a pi bond to another atom, attacked by a reagent. Okay, so again we have positive, that means plus E effect and minus E effect. Plus E effect, these are the two types of electromagnetic effect that we have. Next is resonance effect. Resonance effect, while the p orbitals are parallel to each other, and that is having a tendency to delocalize the p orbitals, to delocalize the pi electrons. Okay, so this delocalization is called by the resonance effect. So this is the resonance of the phenol structure. This is again for the resonance effect we have plus R effect and minus R effect. So plus R effect means while the electron donating tendency we have, that is phenol group we have, amine group we have, okay, chlorobenzene we have. So these are the some of the plus R effect group which donate its lone pairs to the ring structure, okay, and thus they have the some of the resonating structure, and for this you can see the negative ion will be moving towards the delocalize the ring structure. Now we have the minus R effect. Minus R effect means electron withdrawing effect, while the group which is withdrawing the ring the pi electrons from the ring through the resonance effect, that is called by the minus R effect. Like this is aldehyde group, okay, carboxylic group. So these are the all electron withdrawing group, okay. Nitrobenzene also electron withdrawing group. Allyl carbonium ion, that is also electron withdrawing group, okay. So these are the minus R group. Next, hyperconjugation generally we can see this type. This is this effect we can see while we have the alpha hydrogen with the conjugate system, okay. So this hyperconjugation effect, by this effect we can explain the stability of the atoms. This is the hyperconjugation effect in toluene. 1 butene, in between 1 butene, 2 butene is much more stable than the 1 butene, as because of the higher hyperconjugation effect. And similarly we can again explain that tertiary is the stability of the tertiary is greater than secondary, then primary, and then methyl carbocation, okay. So this is also we can discuss, we can explain with the help of the hyperconjugation effect. Now we will discuss some of the organic reactions. So organic reactions generally are of, these are the types of organic reactions that we have, like substitution reaction, we have elimination reaction, addition reaction, oxidation redox reaction, that is called redox reaction. Oxidation and reduction is taking place simultaneously in a reaction, that is redox reaction, and radical reaction. These are the some of the types of organic reactions that we have. Only in your syllabus you have substitution reaction, elimination reaction, and some of the addition reaction you have. So today we will discuss about the substitution reaction. Generally there are two types of substitution reactions we have. These reactions are an useful class of reaction for carbon-carbon and carbon heteroatom bond formation reactions. The approach is also widely used for the synthetic transformation, leaving a group such as tosylates. Depending on the nature of the nucleophile and the reaction condition, different mechanisms are possible, and these reactions typically occur on a saturated carbon attached to a leaving group. So substitution reaction, generally what will happen while a nucleophile is attack a molecule, it will substitute another group. So these substitution reaction can be can follow different mechanisms, okay. So with the help of that based on that mechanism we can there are two types of substitution reaction that we have. One is SN1 and second one is SN2. These are the two types of substitution reaction that we have. Now what is SN1? SN1 means nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction. SN1, 1 means unimolecular. Nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction, that is called by SN1 reaction. Generally SN1 corresponds to the unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. The rate depends on the concentration of only one reactant, that is the substrate and not the nucleophile. Highly substituted reactants undergo the SN1 reaction. Increase in substitution at carbon favors SN1 pathway, okay. The SN1 reaction follow first order kinetics, and the rate constant is dependent on how fast the leaving group can depart. It is the independent of the incoming nucleophile. So SN1, that means nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction. What does it mean? That means while one nucleophile will attack a molecule, what will happen? It will substitute one group. Okay. Now this reaction only depending upon one reagent only. Okay, that is why it is called unimolecular reaction. Unimolecular, it is depending, the rate of the reaction will depend on one reaction only. Okay. Second thing, if the structure will be heavy, the nucleophile which it is attack which atom, which molecule, that molecule, if the molecule is heavy, bulky, so that molecule will prefer the SN1 reaction. Increases substitution at carbon favors the while the carbon atom is substituted by bulky groups, so that will favor mostly the SN1 reaction. Okay. The SN1 reactions follow first order kinetics, because as it is unimolecular reaction, so it will follow the first order kinetics. That means only one reagent, upon one reagent the rate of the reaction will be depending. Okay. Yeah. Now we will see what will be the mechanism. So this is the mechanism of the SN1 reaction. First of all, what will happen, this is very slow reaction. First step is the slow rate determining step, right? So what will happen, this is the alkyl group, alkyl halide group, right? So first of all, what will happen, this bromine atom will go with the electron, so will leave the atom molecule, and thus the carboatom forming the carbocation. Now you can see this carbocation is much more stable by the 9 hyperconjugative alpha hydrogens. Okay. So this alpha hydrogen will have the 9 structures, resonating structures, which stabilizes this carbocation. Next, what will happen, this OH hydroxyl minus will attack the carbocation, and then we will have ultimately this alcohol. Okay. So now you can see this is the total mechanism. So in this mechanism, in a step, first step is the slow rate determining step, and in which step the carbocation will be forming. Now the molecule which have the higher stability of carbocation, that molecule will prefer the SN1 reaction, and this OH minus will attack from here, and this molecule will form. Now you can see the same side, from the same side the bromine will leave and the nucleophile will attack the same side. So the structure will be same. Okay. The slow process, due to the higher activation energy of bond breaking, carbocation can be stabilized by the substitution through two important effects, hyperconjugation and highly substituted by the resonance. The second step process first, as it involves combination of two ionic substrate and the incoming nucleophile. In this example, the heterolytic bond cleavage of C carbon and bromine bond leads to the tertiary carbocation, which is very stable one, and subsequently attacked by the nucleophile. The reaction is decided by how fast the carbocation can be generated. Okay. Okay, now these are the some of the factors which is affecting the S1 reaction. First of all, the nature of the substrate, exactly the substrate. If there will be the bulkier group, that means the substrate will follow the SN1 reaction, because in SN1 reaction, first of all, carbocation will form. Okay, so this is the sp3, this carbocation is sp3 hybridized. Okay, and this is sp2 hybridized. so the bond angle will be increases, and that's why the bulkier substrate always preferring the SN1 substitution reaction. The rate of leaving group departure, obviously the leaving group rate of the leaving group, whatever the leaving group we have for the SN1 reaction, the rate always depend on that leaving group and the nature of the solvent. Exactly, the solvent will be, if the solvent is polar solvent, what will happen, as we have the polar solvent, as we have the carbocation, if we use the polar solvent, what will happen, that carbocation will be stabilized, much more stabilized by the polar solvent. That is why polar solvent always preferring the, if we use the polar solvent, that will prefer the substitution, nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction, the SN1 reaction. Okay, so this is all about the SN1 reaction. Next we have SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction, generally what will happen for this reaction, the leaving group will at the same simultaneously, the leaving group will leave the group and the bond will join with this. Okay, the group will be attached at the simultaneously. The leaving group will be left the carbon atom, and at the same time the nucleophile will join. Okay, so this is called SN2 reaction. Now for this case, for this simultaneous attack, that's why the configuration will change. Whatever species we are taking, for that configuration, whatever compound we are getting, the configuration will be totally reversed, totally changed. Okay, SN2 corresponds to bimolecular nucleophilic substitution, as this is the attack, the leaving group, the leaving of the group and the attachment of the group is simultaneous. That is why it's called bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. That means the rate of the reaction will depend on the two reagent. Okay, this mechanism is a concerted process in which bond forming and bond breaking will taking place simultaneously. Energy required to break the bond is compensated by bond formation. The rate of the reaction is found to vary linearly with non-zero slope with respect to the electrophile as well as nucleophile. In the presence of large excess of nucleophile, the kinetic tends to follow first order, even though the mechanism is bimolecular. Nucleophile attacks the rate even being a large excess, but concentration does not vary significantly. The rate is found to be determined alone by the electrophile. Okay, so this is called SN2 reaction. Now this is the mechanism how the reaction will be followed. Now like this is the hydroxyl group. This hydroxyl group is attacking to the carbon atom. So what will happen, the attachment of this hydroxyl group and the leaving of this chloride group will be simultaneous, and thus this transition state, you can see with the carbon atom there are 1 2 3 4 5 atoms are attached. So this transition state is energetically very high. Okay, so formation of this transition state will follow, and after that what will happen, the which will hydroxyl group will remain attached with this carbon atom, and the chloride group will be will leave the group. Okay, so this is the total mechanism for the SN2 reaction. Okay, during the SN2 reaction, nucleophile first approaches the antibonding molecular orbital of Cl bond. Then the attractive interaction between the donor orbitals and the acceptor orbitals results in a new bonding between the incoming group and the carbon atom. Simultaneously, the leaving group begin to depart away from the carbon center. Substitution may be possible either via front side or back side attack of the nucleophile. In SN2 substitution, the backside attack is preferred, in which approach of the nucleophile is 180 degrees centigrade, as the departure, the attachment and the departure of the group will be simultaneous. That is why the nucleophile always attack the carbocation the opposite side, by which the group will be living. Okay, so that is why we are having here the transition state which is energetically very high. Okay, and also the reversion of configuration is totally changed. You can see here, this is the configuration of the first molecule. Okay, while the OH minus will attack from the back side, the configuration will just change. Okay, just reverse because of this. So this is the main features. These are the some of the mechanism, and these are the some of the main features of the SN2 reaction. Now you can see, as the attack and leaving of the group, departure and bond breaking and bond making are taking place simultaneously. That is why if the substrate will be less crowded, that substrate is generally preferring the SN2 reaction. If the substrate will be bulkier, will be crowded with the bulky atoms, so the steric hindrance will take place, and also they are not preferring, that atom is not at all preferring the SN2 reaction. Okay, second thing, here we are having the transition state, not the carbocation. So here the polar solvent, if we use a polar solvent, it doesn't affect the SN2 reaction. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so these are the some of the factors which is affecting the SN2 reaction. As I told you, the nature of the substrate. So always while the substrate, if the substrate will be less heavy, less bulkier, less crowded, so that substrate will always prefer the SN2 reaction. Okay, the nature of the nucleophile, exactly, the nature of the nucleophile also, based on this nature of the nucleophile, the reaction will be followed either SN2 mode or SN1 mode. The nature of the leaving group, if the leaving group will have the tendency to leave the group very easily, that time it will prefer the SN2 reaction. So the nature of the leaving group also, it is the nature of the rate of the reaction, SN2 reaction also depend on the nature of the leaving group also. Okay. Yeah, the nature of the solvent, exactly, as I told you, the nature of the solvent, here we don't have the carbocation, so that's why it doesn't depend on the polar solvent. So these are the some of the factors affecting the SN2 reaction. Okay, so these are the this is the SN1 versus SN2 reaction. So SN2 reaction, now always the methyl, you can see the methyl bromide or methyl halide group always prefer than the 1 degree, than the 2 degree, than the 3 degree. And for the SN1, as we are having the formation of carbocation, so for the substrate for which the carbocation will be much more stable, for that substrate the SN1 mechanism will be followed. So here also 3 degree is greater than 2 degree. The probability of SN1 mechanism, following the SN1 mechanism, the 3 degree it is higher than the 2 degree. Strong nucleophile, here we, for the SN2 reaction, we have the strong we need the strong nucleophile. as it can attack the substrate very promptly, and weak nucleophile may also be used as the solvent. Weak nucleophile we need for the SN1 reaction. Polar protic solvent are polar aprotic solvent and polar protic solvent. Polar protic solvent means always polar protic means H plus, that solvents we have, that is the that is having the tendency to stabilize the carbocation. So that is called polar protic solvent. And for the SN2 reaction, as we don't have any carbocation, so we need the polar aprotic solvent. The rate is depending on the alkyl halide and also the on the nucleophile, and here the SN1 for the reaction, this is unimolecular, that is why the rate is depending on only the alkyl halide, not on the nucleophile. Inversion of configuration will take place, and here racemization will take place. No rearrangement, rearranged products are we get the rearranged products. So all these are about the SN1 and SN2 reactions, and this is also the SN1 versus SN2. So this type of questions you can have, like differentiate between the mechanism of SN1 SN2 reaction. Okay, what are the factors that is affecting the SN1 reaction, what are the factors that is affecting the SN2 reaction. These are the some of the questions that you can have. Okay, now this is all about the today's topic. I have given one question here. Minus COOH group shows which effect, and your time starts now. Yeah, your time is finished, over. And yes, you are absolutely right, this is the minus I effect. It can say the minus I effect. Okay, and also for this case also we can see the minus R effect also, okay, for the COH group. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is the again the recapitulation, what are the topics that we have today covered. That is the organic reaction we have seen. We have seen what are the types of organic reaction, how many types of organic reaction that we have seen. The substitution reactions, actually what is substitution reactions, what are the types of substitution reactions that we have discussed. And the and the SN1, about SN1 SN2 nucleophilic substitution unimolecular, and SN2 bimolecular, nucleophilic substitution bimolecular. These are the two important substitution reactions. About this we have discussed. Also we have discussed the mechanism, what are the how these reactions is going on actually, and also the factors. What are the factors that is affecting this reaction. If you know the mechanism, that time only you can explain you can explain the what are the factors that can affect the unimolecular reaction and that can affect the bimolecular reaction. Okay, so these are the some of the topics that we have covered. And also one more thing, also we have seen the SN1 versus SN2 reaction. Generally SN1 reaction is unimolecular, the rate is depending on 1. Okay, and this is bimolecular reaction, that means the rate is depending on reagent, on both reagent. Okay, if it is alkyl halide and nucleophile, the both reagent, right? Okay, so one more thing, the for the SN1 we are having the carbocation, and for SN2 the attach bond breaking and bond making is taking place simultaneously. That's why we are having the transition state, okay, which is energetically very high. So these are the some of the topics that we have discussed. Next day we will discuss about the elimination reaction, okay, and also the addition reaction. About the addition reaction also we will discuss. So you have to follow the classes regularly and properly, and submit assignments in time. So thank you students, and see you in the next class.